4, 3,
4,
and a 2,
3,
and a
2,
1.
1.
What's going on,
Hey, guys.
man? This is the last one,
It's
man.
the last one.
The Precursor,
The
bro.
Precursor.
Y'all made it. Congratulations. We here. And this last episode, we are calling the assignment. So we're going to talk about that rekindle. We're going to talk about, some of the new trials that we had to go to all the way up to this moment. We're going to bring y'all right here. So now when we start this next season, when we start this
Y'all be
next
all
season,
caught up.
y'all already know what's happening. So when we talk about stuff, y'all already, and then we can just reference, hey, go back, look. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch episode such and such of last season. That's what we're talking about that. All right. So before we do anything, as y'all see, we already started a tradition. We're going to go ahead and crank a new thing. Hey.
Chronicles.
Hey, I said.
Chronicles.
I said.
Chronicles.
I said.
Chronicle. Always gotta go to the bounce beat. Chronicle. Oh, he always messes it up.
I did not mess it
Bam.
up. Disrespect. What up?
Hey, guys.
What up? Welcome back. Episode 5 of the Precursor Chronicles of J123. I am Jarrell T.G.
And I'm Jasmine Nicole.
Yeah, what up? We
Hey.
did it.
We did it.
We said we was going to.
We did.
said
All
we
right,
was
we
gonna
in
take
this
from
last
step
one.
one.
Let's go. This is.
And by the way, y'all, this ain't movie magic. We did bulk record these last couple episodes. That's why we still got on the same clothes. That's now we ain't dirty. We ain't playing.
It's like the same.
It's literally the same.
Okay.
That we were just knocking them out because we was in the flow. So we was just like, we just want to keep going because we feeling it, right? And it's another aspect because today is literally about 54 or so minutes from our anniversary. Not just the anniversary of this time, but literally we got back in connection on the same day 3 years later. Crazy. Crazy. Remember when we talked about back all the way back in episode 1, we talked about the origin story, and it was talking about, the snowstorm. We really got there, really chatting it up. When our first date, realized, hey, this is cute. All that. All the way back in. First time.
It's
Boom.
3 years.
Then, it's really funny because we always pick that date. Because we picked it twice, actually. You don't even realize. Because we picked it the first time because we started talking and started going out in 2016 after the snowstorm, right? Remember 2017 when we was like, okay, we don't have an anniversary. So let's pick an anniversary. And we picked J123 for multiple reasons. And then was able to
We got it again.
come back and get it again. So, man, that is a magic number for us, yo. J123 is a magic number.
Jarrell, Jasmine, Jesus.
Yep. So that's
Then
three.
January,
that's
his
three.
birth. I mean, J123 is us. So J, we represent January 1.
Yeah.
And then 1 is like January, the first month, 1. And then my birthday is in February, and then that's 2. And then his birthday is in March, and then that's the 3, 2. So that's another way. It's J123.
It's like a
Jasmine,
triple entendre. Like.
and Jarrell, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And then 1 Jesus, 2 us, 3
No.
us together.
1. No, it was 1 Jesus, 2 with you, and then 3 with me.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's
Okay.
it's an
The
order.
triangle. Yeah. All
It-
that.
it-
all
it
that.
goes in
all
order.
that. So it's a magic number.
Yeah.
So this episode is called The Assignment. So as we said, we talked about last episode, our time apart and all that happened. So this episode, we're going to talk about how we reconnected and this past year that's been super dope. Like of course, as every relationship, we had some ups and downs. We had some lefts and rights. We had some zigs and zags, but
Yeah.
it was real and it was fun and then we had a great time. So, as we always do, gotta start off with who said it. You ready?
Nope. You
wanna
go
remember
first.
who said it? All right, I'm gonna go first. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, check it out. So there's something that's been telling me that this love, it was meant to be. Laying by each other. We ain't talking, but we speaking. Man, I swear it's telepathy. I wonder who said that. I gave her a toss. I gave her an alley-oop, y'all. She better slam dunk this.
So I believe that was.
Yes.
Well, at the time, the person who said it
was who?
Was Jarrell.
He was. That was Jarrell.
Now, the person who will be saying it again in the new release of the song would be Jarrell the Griot, huh? And Jasmine Nicole. That's telepathy. That's bars right there.
That was that was the first song we did together. No, well, not the first song we did together, but that was the first song we completed.
Yeah.
But it still never came out. So y'all about to get that new. Y'all about to get
exclusive.
That. It goes though, and it's really dope, and it's going kind of. It's a summation of all we've been talking about thus far. So yes, you are absolutely correct. That was Jarrell the Griot featuring Jasmine Nicole. From the unreleased project Urban Griot. Dope song. Shout out my man Boss Man Scoop for being the mixing engineer on that first song and recordings and all that stuff. Yeah, dope guy.
All right, my turn, right? My turn.
She gonna give me something hard.
I'm kind of cheating because.
Right. See how she cheating? So we should just disqualify you off the break.
Should we?
For the sake of doing it. I mean, it don't really matter. We ain't really fact checking each other.
Right. Here we go.
Because we on the same page. We here.
Never been good at trusting, but it's something about you I'm in love with.
Oh, that's easy. That's Everything by LMA.
There's Everything by LMA, which we also have covered, and he was singing those lines right there from Lil John Legend, huh?
Listen. Something about you I'm in love with.
Love. There you go.
Like
got your John Legend.
Shout out John Legend. Shout out LMA.
Friend of the pod.
Friends of the pod.
Yeah, that was that song. So you won.
Yes. Okay, cool. So we both got that. Good job. Okay, so we're gonna go into story time. I've been waiting for this episode, man. I've been waiting for this episode because this was the most fun. This is the most fun to talk about because this is the new stuff. This is we all real, And we had like I said, we had some good stuff going on, man. So, where you want to start? How you want to start?
Let's start. Can I start with let me start.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna pick up from the single, the tail end of the singleness into our reconnection.
Okay.
So life is going on, and like I told you last episode, I'm randomly having these dreams, and this guy is a main character in the dreams. We're not together.
I'm a main character.
We are not together, but I'm still dreaming and having, and in the dreams we're actually together, and I'm happy in the dreams. Like in these dreams it's not like I say, it's dreams, so it's not just one dream. And he just kept having to be in there, but I wrote them down in my phone and was like, when I wake up from the dream, that's odd, but I jot the dream down or whatever. So it happened a couple of times, and so with those dreams in the back of my mind, and then with the dating pool being trash, so put all this stuff together, and I'm thinking, like, what I had with Jarrell, it wasn't that bad. Like, it was actually the best thing I had, except we had, those few hiccups or whatever. So it's like, but in real life, could those hiccups be fixed? Could be changed? Yeah, probably. But I don't know, Lord. So look, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna have to be you, because I'm not about to come back in his face and be like, hey, can we try this again? Like, no, that's dumb. So I'm not gonna do that.
Because pride is the devil.
All right, so I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So Lord, if it's gonna happen, like, come on, God, you gonna have to do it yourself now.
God, go tell him to be more humble than I.
Are you done? Are you done, or you finished? So, yeah, that was that. So then, but then what happens next is on you.
So, I wasn't thinking about her at all. Just being humbly honest. I wasn't having no dreams. I was out here living my best. You know what I mean? You know, I had some friends. You know, I was doing what she said. Also, I was, you know, reconnecting and being more intentional about having my other friends. Like, I became a goddad. Like, that was super dope. Actually, no. Yes, I'm correct. Yes, I became a goddad at that time, which is super dope. Shout out my goddaughter. Shout out her parents. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all watching. And you know, my career was getting in a good space. I was doing a lot of different things. I had my hands in a couple pots, man. Connected with some really dope organizations that I was either contracted with or like, you know, working, partnering with. So things were just going really good for me. And but it was like, you know, like y'all fellas, y'all might have experienced it before. It's like them times, them nights, you know, where nobody answering their phone, right? Like everybody busy, and it's just like you kind of sitting there and you're just like, dog, like. And I told y'all last episode, like my internal makeup is like I want a companion, like I like having that special somebody. But ain't nobody really proving themselves to be that special. Like, not to say that, you know, the friends I had, you know, didn't, you know, offer some, you know, insight. Because I was super in the introspective space. So everybody that I was encountering, I was asking, like, existential questions. And, like, and nobody was just answering them, like, how I needed them to. Like, and so this went on for like a good couple months. Like I was kind of in this space of like, this cool, it's fun, but like this ain't it. Like this ain't it. I just remember January the 15th. I remember that day. I said, yo, God just hopped in my ear. Some kind of way, form, of fashion. Don't even know. He just said, bruh. He said, bruh. Text her. Text who? Who? Text who? Text her, bro. Don't play like you don't know what I'm talking about. Cause you know God, he gonna talk to you like you hear, like you listen. Like, go text her.
He gonna talk to you like you listen though. Like you hear.
Literally, you can quote me on this. You got a fact check point. This is what I said. I'm like, what's good? Hope all is well. I say, you know, regular little.
No, I think you had sent one text before because that you had sent a Thanksgiving text or something.
Oh yeah, I did.
Random happy Thanksgiving.
So that was in that 3 months time. So that was just random say happy Thanksgiving.
So it looking good. Happy Thanksgiving. You know,
so I think that was God, like, kind of making a leeway, so give me a little bit of confidence that this wasn't going to, like, blow up my face type of vibe. Sent this text message like, yo, what's good? Hope all is well. Happy New Year. Blah, blah, blah. What's going on with you? And all that, like a small talk type of conversation. This blunt
went
over
there. I said I'm not for the small talk, guys. I've said that.
She entertained it because I feel like because like you said, she was already dreaming about your boy. So she was hoping that I text her. But she like, we not about to play this game. Like, God don't be God. We've made a joke like, shout out Danny Rose. She's a friend of the pod too. She's just talking about like we was watching. What was that? Coming to the Stage.
Yes.
Shout out to Kevin on Stage.
Friend of the pod.
Big friend. All the Kevin Stage studios, man. Big friends of the pod. You see, she got the Angel Wing shirt on right now, so we're big friends of the pod. But Danny Rose is just talking about like how her conversation with God go, and she just like kind of amping God up, like poking at his boisterous, prideful nature. Like, so you just gonna be little God today? Like, you gonna be whisper God? Where the God from Exodus at? Like, that was just getting people out of here. Where big God? We need him. So like, she was already kind of in that space, and she was standing on that. So after this little bit of exchange of small talk, she's like, so what's really good? Like, why are you on my phone, basically? And I had to be utterly and completely honest with her. Because I ain't have no answer that I could, like, orchestrate in that moment. So I was completely honest. What'd I say? I said,
I don't know.
I have no idea. God told me to text you, and I decided to be obedient.
Huh. Okay.
Interesting.
So
now, to most people, that ain't you know, God's daughter over here. To most people, that might have sounded like a lie. To most people, that might have been like, what? That ain't good enough. That sounded like you were almost reluctant to do so, which I was. But it was so utterly honest that she ain't had no choice to be like, I mean, okay, respect. Continue on with conversation. How I know it's the 15th, because she was like, well, tomorrow's Saturday. Like, I pull up. Cool. So, I had just got the den together, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I initiated, because we've been in the den. This has been a creative zone for so long that to see it come full circle and be like an actual studio is amazing. And I know she was a part of the inception of that, so I thought,
he tried humbly invite me. He was like, yeah,
you gotta come see the spot, man. Like, you gotta come see the upgrades. I gotta
upgrade it, I outfitted it. Like, you'll be surprised. Like, come see it. Like, okay, sir.
So
okay.
So she's like, okay, cool. She's, super reluctant. I mean, she's super receptive and everything. And then the next day, January 16th, is when you pulled up. I was super nervous.
Were you really?
I was mad nervous.
I was nervous too.
Because I was like, this could be
really good,
or
really bad all over again.
Right. And it was like almost instantaneous. Like, it was entertaining. I know there was like some levels of like caution and apprehension from both of us, but it was like so electric, so quick that it's like, yo, where have you been? Like, what happened? And it's like, I don't know. It of course, all of the subsequent circumstances around us meeting and where I was at that time probably led into like that electric feeling, because it was like, yo, like, I did the dates, I've been in another situation, and I can tell like what I want and what I need, what feels good. And like, none of them feel like this. Like, that's all I can think. I'm like, yo, it does not feel like this. Needless to say, like, she stayed like till Monday.
Yeah, we binged another. Yeah,
we like binged, like we spent like a straight like 48 plus hours together, like straight, just talking, watching stuff that we used to watch together, like.
Catching up,
talking and all of that, and it kept being like, she's like, you'd be like, I'm about to go, it'd be like 8:00, like, it was like, I feel like Saturday was a lost cause, like, you wasn't about to, it was probably like 2 in the morning, and I'm like, bro, you're not about to leave here at 2 in the morning.
It's not safe.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, it's not that bad.
You're not about to leave here at 2 in the morning. You can leave tomorrow. So we wake up, be in the same vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, gets to be late again, and I'm like, okay. So she's like, I'm leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow morning.
For
I'm not
sure.
Gonna be here. I'm leaving. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, but we decided, like, let's not continue this. Like, let's not get wrapped up in the moment. Take a second and breathe and let it register. And then it was just like, boom, like.
We did that though. We took
that week, and literally the next Saturday, 7 days from January 16th.
It was the 23rd.
Ironically, was January 23rd.
We back at it.
She came back over, and we're like,
so you feel good about this?
Like, what are we doing?
I felt good about it. Okay.
What are we doing? And that was it. Off she went. Like, And it was still, it was fresh and it was new, but it was so familiar. Like, we talked about this, like, off air or offline or whatever, and off camera, rather. And we was basically saying it was kind of like the same thing as, like, what people describe going back to Africa is like. It's like, it's
I've never been here, but it's familiar. Like,
but it's so familiar. And I feel like that's what we had because we both was in new spaces. So we looked different. We moved different. We was so...
And responding to each other
differently. But at the same time, it was so familiar and so homey, so comfortable that we was just like, man, whatever. And I was like completely honest, like, I like just drop my jumps. Like, and God was already moving in some spaces. We'll talk about that in another episode. But he was already moving like, no, get out the streets, bro. Please get out the streets. Like, it's just not good for you out here. It's dangerous out here in these streets. Like, so he was already doing that, and then coming to the place where that like we had that connection and it felt that way. I was just like, yeah, bro. I'ma just retract and really set it off and start this off in a really, positive place and hope for something different. Not having super over expectations, but really just reevaluating and hoping to build something new. So what's your take on all of that, like, so far?
Yeah, we were really excited to be back in each other's presence and all of that stuff. I think you were really clear on your, like, what you kind of wanted from you. Were straight up on what you wanted from me or what you wanted out of this, and I think that helped because it wasn't. I didn't have to, like, guess, like, okay, so what are we doing? Are we trying to rekindle this? Like, no, you were sure, and you told me, nah, like, I haven't felt this in a while. Like, this is a good feeling. I feel it. And so then that eased me a little bit, so I don't have to be on so much of a defense or whatever, but I can just fall into this because it feels good. Yes, this is what I want to do. Yeah, you're back. He's back. Yo, and it kind of ended up being like we hadn't skipped a beat, although we did spend plenty of time talking, catching up. And even in all of that, like, that showed so much growth and maturity because the time that we had apart, we lived life. Like, he lived life, I lived life. But then we came back and then we had an open, honest conversation about those type of things. And it showed the growth that we had to go through before then, because had we not had that time to grow and mature emotionally and all of that stuff.
Went through the stuff that we had to go, really went through stuff we had to go through.
Yeah, and had we not gone through all of it and actually learned through it and even had the time afterwards to process all that stuff, like, we would have came back and still did the same thing all over again.
Yep.
And failed at the round two. So it was really purposeful, but that beginning time, it was really exciting. Like, I mean, it's still exciting now, and it's in a few hours or like 30 minutes. It'll be like a whole year. Yeah. But it's been pretty exciting, like, this whole ride, like, so far.
And I could probably think of, like, something somewhat significant from just about every month of this past year. Like, we got together in January, right?
Yeah.
February comes. That's your birthday. What do we do?
On my birthday, well, on Valentine's Day, we were working. On Valentine's Day, we were working. When you ended up recording me, that's when I had to sing, and you shot the video for the Black National Anthem or whatever.
Okay, yep.
So
we was
doing that.
Our birthday, yep. I was back in our work bag.
For my actual birthday, I don't remember.
I feel like we did something. Was that paint night?
Oh yeah, I think that might have been paint night. It was something chill up my alley, like, and I was fine.
Because, I mean, of course, we were still in the panties, so it wasn't like...
Yeah, that too.
We was, like, out in the street like that. But, yeah, like, I think that was that. March was when we went to...
Your birthday, Deep Creek.
So, that was interesting because, like, we had just started talking. Like, we just...
Yeah.
This is, like, of course, it's March. So, it's, like, not even 2 months in, and my family is planning this trip because we got mad March birthdays. Like, my little cousin's birthday, well, it started my little cousin's birthday, which is the day after her birthday, or the day before her birthday. Hers is first and then yours. So, day before her birthday, my aunt's birthday is 2 days before mine, then mine's my other sister, cousin, That's not weird. It's not weird like that. It's whatever. Y'all get that conversation in another situation. But yeah, so and then Sis' birthday is right after that. So we was going out to Deep Creek for my birthday, and I was like, yo, like this a family trip, by the way.
And also, I hadn't been
back around
the family. Yeah. Like, I've been gone. And mind you, he had introduced the other joint into the situation. So now I'm going back looking dumb. So that was a whole. I didn't look dumb. I didn't look dumb, but it played heavily. Like, it made me anxious. I mean,
it did make you anxious, and it made me anxious because I was like, yo, bro, what I'm gonna look like? What I'm gonna look like coming back again? Like, even with the fam too, cause like they like Shorty got worked in, cause how I move, like my family is heavily involved. Like, I'm a very family oriented individual. So the people that I'm around, like the person that I have to be with, I put them in them situations to see how they move. Like, you gotta be like you gotta be able to fit. So they were like, yeah. So it was wild. So I wasn't even expecting her to be like, yeah. I was like, maybe next time or something. And I was like, yo, so we going here for my birthday? Like, you trying to go? Like, what's up? And she's like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe. So then we eventually land. She was like, yeah, I'll go. So we ended up having our first road trip of the 2021. And super dope trip, yo. Like, first of all, the drive was crazy, cause originally, like, and if y'all go back, man,
you can watch.
It's
all been documented.
Go back and watch. It's on the Grill Sphere. I need to actually repost it on Alpha Conductor. I probably will do that. But
that's my family.
That's my family. On the Grill Sphere Productions YouTube page, I'll add it to
or put a link. There'll be a link right up here, and you can go right here.
It's not gonna be a link up there.
That's what the YouTubers they do. It's gonna be a link right here.
Up there. You can go to. I'm gonna add it to a playlist for on Alpha Conductor TV that you can go take a look at. But watch That's My Family. But anyway, so first of all, my mother, who was supposed to be riding down there with us, ended up having the whole situation where she couldn't come that day. So we ended up, it was just us in the car. Like, that was probably, like, such a scenic, if y'all know, like, Deep Creek, Maryland, like, from where we live, you gotta, like, go up through, like, the mountains and all that. It's up in the mountains. So
and it's really scenic.
It's a scenic drive, man. So we had a great time.
Beautiful.
Just talking.
I love clouds. I love to look at nature. He enjoys it as well. So going, like, and him driving, me looking out the window, and then we actually had gotten to our bag a little bit because he was, like, vlogging the whole thing. So I'm recording. Like, it was still like a team, a unit. It was back in action.
It was dope. Yeah. So that was March. So then we get to April. Mm-hmm. Now, she talked about how her business came about last year, right? In 2020. So I had a job, right? I had a whole position, full-time job. It was virtual, which was dope. I didn't have to, like, report anywhere for the majority. But I had a job, and I was also contracting and doing some other stuff that, it was continuing to feed that entrepreneurial spirit, working with Propel Productions and, working with Lauren, had me doing stuff all summer 2020, and we still was getting new stuff that we was about to embark on in 2021, and we got this opportunity that looked super, super lucrative. It looked like, yo, this is like establishing like a real entity in the community, amongst donors and all this stuff. Like, it was one of them type of vibes. Like, really, really, really a move. Cause I'm a calculated individual. As entrepreneurial as I am, and as dreamer like as I am, I do have a lot logistical perspective in how I move. So we got this opportunity, and like Lauren had already been kind of talking to me about, you know, you got a lot of skills to offer. You know, are a key contractor in every program that Propel does. Like, you need to set up your own entity so that you can be your own entity and re-establish yourself, you know, with the companies that you're already partnering with, but coming to the table as your company in and of itself. That gives you a different leverage. Like, she talking to them like, yeah, cool. But, you know, I got that comfortability, right? I got that stability that comes with having a job, having a 9 to 5 or whatever. And, like, so we meet back up, and we, in our conversation, I'm like, what are you doing now? Like, what's going on? She's like, well, you know, I got my business. And I'm like, wait.
And I had just finished a campaign, a merch campaign or whatever.
Facts.
So I was...
Or you was like knee deep in the middle of that joint.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was... like actively doing stuff, and yeah.
And I was just like, I'm like, wait. Because, like I said, we started J123 together. And she kind of took my lead in a lot of ways. Like, she, you know, allowed me to be the leadership of it and speak for us in a lot of circumstances. Of course, not being a silent partner, for sure.
That's enough.
For sure.
Okay.
But definitely let me lead, let me speak. So to hear her be like, while we was apart, like, she went and actually, I'm not talking about just like kind of started dibbling that, like, legal, on paper, established a company, was running a merch campaign, had done multiple little, like, you know, not little, but multiple programming situations under her own name, like under her own business. And I was like, yo, that's dope. That is freaking dope. Like, what? Like, I'm like, I'm a little bit like taken aback. I'm just like, wow. Like, that's amazing. And that pushed and drove me. So like, when this opportunity came about around, we started hearing about it around March, did a couple meetings, you know, and we thinking it's gonna happen. So I'm like, I'm gonna get a business. I'm gonna get a business. So I took a leap of faith, got the business, you know, started the business. My purpose, I call it Purpose Day. So basically, like the day that I officially was incepted, like my business was conceived, was April 19th. And then May, we did 2 days of this program that we were basically the operations entity for. So like, if you think of a business, or like of a, you know,
we being you and Lauren,
me and Lauren, yes, we became like the operational organization or a collaborative that was going to actually, you know, implement this program. The people, it was one group of people. They had the money, or was supposed to have the money. The other people was like the ideas, the visionaries. We were supposed to take the idea and actually implement the program. So, took a leap of faith, quit my job, started the business, and about to hop into this thing. Falls through. We did that joint 2 days. That joint fell through because they could not get the money together. And Ron was like, we not about to work for them for nothing. We building our own stuff anyway for free. So why would we give away all of our ideas and our operations to a company and they not even got the money to pay us? They had funders that was falling through and all this other stuff. So God, I'm thinking I can take this leap in security, right? Because it was a leap up. It wasn't like I was taking a leap of faith where I'm jumping into nothingness for my job. Like, the only reason that I even left my job was because this was a more secure opportunity that was supposed to come through. So it was a risk. It was a risk in the sense that stuff was still falling together, but it was falling together, and the results of it was supposed to be better than what I had. God got different plans.
Nope.
God got different plans. And so I ended up, you know, after that fell through, I'm just like, well, what do you do? Do you tuck tail and do you humble yourself and go back to your job and go, hey, man, listen, I was tripping.
We liked it better in Egypt.
I was tripping. Ooh, yes. Give me that. Yes, be in the wilderness and like, man, why they lead us out here? We want to go back. At least there we knew what we was getting into. Or you could be like Joshua and Caleb and go ahead and cross that Jordan. Cross that Jordan into the promised land.
Boy, yeah.
And just go look around. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I ain't established territory there, but I know somebody had already told me that I got some land over that way. And he said, just go check it out for me. Go see what it look like over there. Because that's what you about to do. And that's literally what I've been doing thus far. So I have to credit this woman for being the catalyst for me to even believe or have the vision enough to go, why not be your own business? Why not be your own entity and come to every table that you collaborate with? When I sit at Propel's table, I'm putting Grillsphere next to Propel. Like, you watch the other stuff that we do, both of the logos is up there. You know, we'll get to some of the other stuff that happened this year too. That was crazy. But I cannot take away from the fact that if it wasn't for you and coming back in that space, like, I don't feel like I would have had that gut, like, jump. Because I'm super calculated. I'm super calculated. So it's like, yo, and literally I hadn't been in this job for no more than like 5 months before I was like, But God, bro. Because, like, I still managed to be a contractor with the job I was just working at. So I was still getting a little bag over there. Started getting other stuff. But, like I said, man, I had to get that to you. So that's literally just April. So 4 months into it, and life is changing, like, heavily.
March, April.
Then we get to May. May was pretty chill. We didn't really do nothing. We was cool there. What happened in May?
I should have my calendar. Okay.
I know June we went to Jamaica. That was our first international trip.
Something happened before May. Or maybe it was... So when did I start working? That was after Jamaica, I think. When I was doing the schools in D.C. for the summer camp and stuff.
Yeah, that was after. Because that was in, like, July.
Okay.
It was, like, later. Yeah.
So Jamaica.
Yeah, so Jamaica comes... Like I said, once again, shout out to my bro and his wife, because we were out there for, basically it was a bunch of celebratory things that was happening. It was their basically like their honeymoon. They was the same couples. Well, my 3 friends is the guys that's kind of like, what we call it? We're the connectors. My 2 friends. Shout out Dan and KY. Shout y'all out. But this time, Dan was bringing his wife, who was his girlfriend at the time we were in Miami. Dan's his wife and mother of his child, my goddaughter. She graduated.
Their anniversary. I mean, not anniversary.
Yeah,
their honeymoon.
It was their honeymoon. She was also be graduating from grad school, so we was going out to celebrate that. And it was her birthday weekend, so we was coming out there to just celebrate them. But in the camaraderie of us, KY, he brung his girlfriend, who now is his fiance as well. So shout out to them, man. And it's just like having some good dudes around and good people, good energy. And we went on this little international excursion, man. Y'all see some of the pics of that, in the closing credits. So much fun, man. Jamaica was amazing. Jamaica was amazing. Like,
definitely going back. Like, if I could do that, like, every year, standard vacation every year,
I see that.
I'd love that.
Hey, God, you heard us? You heard us? You just put that in the atmosphere. We need like a vacation house out there, just so we can just pull up in Jamaica whenever we feel like it. Yeah, that'd be super dope. Yeah, so then, like I said, July, you got that first. We actually, go ahead, you can tell it. But I just want to make this caveat. This is opportunity we both had put in. I found it first. We both had put in for this particular opportunity. But,
so in July, there was an opportunity to a job and summer camp teaching or whatever, and he brought me to it. Like, he also sent in his resume and all of that stuff, and nobody said anything to him about it, which actually ended up being good because he had other stuff that he wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. But through him, I also was led to that opportunity. So all in one voice, my company, it started picking up speed again. And I was getting contracts to start teaching again. So I'm getting my feet wet, like doing that again. So that was really fun. And then that helped fuel, like give me more ideas for the future as far as company and business. And now since we're kind of heavy into entrepreneurship at this time, it's like giving our relationship even more purpose, like, and the entrepreneur side really started to spark, like right around then, I think. Yeah. Well, he was definitely already started, and I was already started, but I feel like that was the time where it really kicked into high gear. It really was
kicking into high gear. Like, we was both looking in like, yo, we both have our own companies, and we can create an LLC. We got LLCs as individuals, but now that J123 is now an entity again, we have so much more to offer to the world, man.
And then it's also cool because our companies are compatible.
Very much so.
He's the visual and I'm the sound. Like, that's so easy. That's like easy peasy.
Everything works together, man. And so, of course, getting in situations, you actually was responsible. She's actually responsible. Cause something did happen to me. That's when I got Rumblingham School.
Oh yes.
That was my first.
Oh yeah.
My first 4-figure contract was because of her, basically. Like, ended up, of course, like I said, the virtual space was popping. People were having virtual events and all that. Came and produced a virtual graduation, some pre-recorded stuff and some live stuff, and that was my first contract. Like. As the Grills Fair, as a company, man, and that like made me go like, wait, so
people could
as
really
opposed to working 40 hours a week to get this, maybe a little bit more, but you don't know how much better it feels.
Because it comes with freedom, like
to be working for yourself and to see somebody value you and your skills and what you bring to the table, your presentation that much. And pay for it, like, it's crazy. That joint gave me this kick, this addiction that is like, bro, I can't turn back. And if I do, it's gonna be on my own terms, bro. Like, it's so crazy. So like the fact that you sparked that is just one of the many entities.
And you sparked it back with the other job, so.
Yeah, because that she definitely talked about, like, she's like, yo, I can't believe like how you just made this decision and literally hit the ground running and started like
and picking up contract, like you're actually getting work.
You know what I mean?
This is crazy.
So shout out to Rhythm Visions, man. Rhythm Visions, Miss Renita, been super dope.
Shout out.
I thought this whole process, like as a fellow business owner, she owns a Rhythm Visions production company, nonprofit, but also as a mentor through this whole process and helping me develop. As an entrepreneur, shout out Propel Bosses, for all that they've been doing. We did some dope stuff with them in October and continuing to do stuff. And y'all, as a matter of fact, this podcast is a part of a content series that we are using to launch our Alpha Conductor page. So Propel Productions, having the freedom and the leverage to go into circumstances, and Lauren having opportunities available, and me having the time and the space and the infrastructure to help her in facilitating these opportunities is crazy. Like, and this connection was so purposeful in that. Like, it was so purposeful in that. So we just had a really dope year. Like, really dope year. I want you to kind of speak to what you feel like was some of the things that even coming back as the new people that we were, we still had to overcome. Like, what were some things that you felt like God put us back in tense places to continue to grow?
Okay. In our separate spaces when we were in a singleness, there were certain things that we worked on, but then we realized that there are other things that can only be worked on in a relationship.
Yep.
Like, if you need another person to oppose what you have been doing in order to make it better. Like if you can't just do that by yourself. So in the relationship, one of the main things that I feel like we had to overcome was my level of vulnerability, and that was huge. And it was in part 1 too, like part 1 of our relationship as well. But then it came back in part 2, like it hadn't all the way been fixed. I might have thought I had done a good job, and I probably did do some work on it. But like I said, it can't be all the way done unless you have somebody else to rub up against, because iron sharpens iron. So that was one of the huge things, me being vulnerable enough to accept what this is, live in the space, and then feel safe enough to actually tell you how I'm feeling. And for me, I didn't grow up like that. Like I've said it before. I live in my head, or I keep things in. Things happen and I suppress it, keep it down. I'll write about it, but nobody knows about it but me and God in this journal. But now, here I am in a relationship with somebody, and that's not fair to him, because I can't live in this bubble and try to still be together. Like, it doesn't work like that.
As we said with the last one, like, you can't connect and love and be guarded.
Yeah.
It takes openness. It takes, like, fluid communication and acceptance of not only yourself but the other person in order for y'all to really connect. And I feel like you wasn't the only person that was going through that. And the irony is God waited until, like, because, like I said, we hit each other and it was like spontaneous combustion. He put us back on accelerated
fast track. It was good.
And our purpose, you know, from a career standpoint, from an impact standpoint, let us get comfortable in that. And then was like, oh, but y'all still got some stuff to
work
deal with on
though.
y'all hands. Like, and like we really went through some serious battles, but we fought different. You know,
that was the main thing.
We fought different.
And
like even in the spaces to where like it got really bad. Like it got some moments like it was really bad, but like we managed to like get through that, get to a place of calmness, and still be able to talk out to find solutions. And I feel like in the last time we more or less just argued and then just stopped arguing. Like,
another thing, I think we were both more conscious of keeping God in the relationship, because in those times where I don't want to see your face, like I don't care what you're saying, like don't breathe, just hush, please. Taking those times to actually just go to God, like, God, I know you love him. I love him too. I don't like him right now, but help me to figure out this person that you love, and help me to love him the way that you love him, because right now I don't like him, but I know it's probably something in me that you trying to teach me. So what's up? Like, teach me what you need to teach me. Help me to love him the way that you love him. And keeping Christ in the center of it for us, it kept things smooth, like moving. It wasn't always smooth, It wasn't always smooth, but
it kept moving, and it kept transitioning. Like I feel like every week, almost every quarter, if not sooner, like we was coming to a new
and it was happening,
a new plateau, and then we were able to, you know, we got in. We were in the fire. We were in the furnace. In a couple of situations that I can remember, like real bad, but it's like, once again, as we said from our last one in Isaiah 43 too, like you won't get burnt up. You may get in the flames, you may be in the fire, but you won't get burnt up. And I feel like we really epitomized that in this next chapter, like for sure. So I guess overall.
But wait, what about you? What about you, in your opinion? What are some of the things that we had to overcome in order to
get
to this new place?
one that I'm still learning, but I'm doing much better at being expressive, man. And being emotionally expressive. Like, it's different between being complaining. It's different between trying to mandate or trying to be like set, rules or whatever. Just really being vulnerable, as you said, being vulnerable or emotionally mature enough to kind of to express your needs. Like, as a man, we don't really get in spaces where we can talk about or describe what we need from the women in our lives. Like, and I feel like I had to grow to that space because that's humility in and of itself. And I feel like that is the expression of love at the end of the day, because it's like me letting you know that it's something from you that I need. You know what I mean? And that vulnerability of possibly not getting what you need. Like, that don't stop you from letting people know that you need it. You know what I mean? And I had to learn that to continue to advocate. Like, continue to advocate for myself, but in a healthy way for both of us. Because one of the biggest things we got into is kind of like a resurfacing of the same thing, but we had a better understanding. Was when we get into arguments and I would express not realizing not realizing my approach or how I was saying stuff, certain aspects of that was super triggering for me. Like and then really, like I said, going back to the story mode, understanding why it was triggering to you. We had those deep conversations.
But in order to have that understanding, I had to be vulnerable enough to share my real feelings, like not just suppress or shut down or whatever. I actually had to let him in. Hey, when you say it like this, I have a hard time hearing you because this, or whatever. And then actually expressing it, and then him hearing, and now in this new mature state of emotional maturity. He can actually hear me, process it, and be like, okay, and actually make and course correct.
Right, course correct, but then still, but like I said, it's one because I'll take that as, okay, your feelings are more important here. But all she was saying is like, I want to hear you, but the way that you're telling me this is making me be defensive automatically, so I can't hear what you're actually trying to say.
And so I had to learn other words too, because I found that using the same words, like, it wasn't really descriptive enough. And so with him doing the emotional and social work, I mean, what do you do? The emotional work that he be doing, I found an emotion wheel so that I can find better words to say exactly what it is that I'm feeling, because it might not be angry, it might be feeling isolated right now, but only thing that I can say is I'm angry. Nah, I feel isolated. What you did right there, so it helped me to communicate better, and then he was able to receive it.
Yeah, man. And like I said, it wasn't like this was like constant work, easy battles. Wasn't like this was like, oh, quick, light bulb, and now everything's different. Like, this was still like tension that we had to sit in, and as opposed to going to God like. I got a journal of my own that the beginning of some of those journeys was, like, God, get her together, because this ain't working. Like, and once again, going back to the sermon I listened to, like, God is never going to bless a complainer. When you come to God and ask him to change other people, you're not going to get that. He's going to show you how you can be better to alleviate the problem that you're bringing to him. When I change perspective to go, it's not you, it's us. So what can I do in this situation to be giving, what we like to call extending the olive branch? Like, what can I do to be accommodating in this space so that we can, like, get past this? And once I got there, which was a battle, especially because it's hard, especially when my battle already, both of our battles already is expressing ourselves and telling the other person our needs and our wants and our desires. Like, in those moments where we're not feeling like we're getting those. That's already a difficult battle to rage. And then on top of that, I have to tailor it so that you can hear me. Like that's a lot of accommodation that a smaller or less capacity having individual might not be able to do. Mm-hmm. But we had to grow to that in both sides.
Right.
Like even today, like, you know what I'm saying? We kind of woke up with a little tiff this morning. Mm-hmm. But and you literally called it that. You like, I don't know what this is, but it's like I just don't want to be at war. Like I just want you to know that I'm open and I want to solve the problem. Mm-hmm. And that little bit forced me, because she's presenting a platform for you to tell her exactly what you want and exactly what's happening, what's wrong and what you need, whatever. How are you going to take this? Are you going to be too stubborn because you feel like she need to know, or are you going to take this opportunity to be expressive and be open and vulnerable and honest about what you feel?
And that decision is what a lot of the fights boil down to. Like, how you going to act? Are you going to be stubborn and choose like, no, you need to fix yourself? Or are you going to have an open ear and really understand that what we should be fighting an issue, not each other? So deciding how mature we was going to be in the argument really helped us to, once we decided that we were going to be mature and take a healthy route, that's helped us not go back to where we were before.
Okay, cool. That's 100%. I feel like that was probably like the biggest overcoming that we had. So my question to you, what is one thing, and I really want you to speak to specifically like that helpmate revelation that you had.
Okay.
But what is the one thing that you found was the biggest revelation for you in this whole ordeal, like in this whole relationship, what you learned in this new space that... So like, what was like the biggest revelation that you had, like, I guess specifically in this new space, but like that was, you think, the most impactful to like where we are now and then move forward?
The biggest revelation that I had, and most recent revelation was that, okay, so I live in my head. I'm a girl. I'm a dream girl. So I've been, not a dream girl, we'll make it happen. Not a dream girl, but I'm a dreamer, and I'm a girl, a woman, and hopeful, romantic as well. So
I like how you change that word, because most people say hopeless.
No. We're not hopeless. I'm hopeful. Because the love is right here, huh? Hey. So, hopeful, romantic, all my life. I want this love. I want this marriage. And it was in the shower. God speaks to me in the shower a whole bunch. But in the shower, I was thinking about this new year, because we kind of just crossed into 2022. So, I'm thinking about this new year, and prior to the year, like December, I'm thinking a whole bunch about what am I supposed to be doing, me, myself, personally, Jasmine. What am I supposed to be doing in this next year, like with my dreams and my goals and my music, and my company, my business, like what do I need to be doing? And then it was like God smacked me in the face in the shower, like, girl, all your life you've been talking about you want to be a wife. You got these pillars, God, love, and music. Love, wife falls in that love thing. So this is something that you wanted all your life, and you've done your own research, your own study, and now that the time is here, this is the time for you to wake up and play your role. Like, you want to be a wife, so you can start by practicing being a helpmate. What are you going to help? He already laid out a vision. And also, we didn't say this, but when we first got together, the first day of our connection, when I came to see the new spot or whatever, the walls that he have, you can write on it with chalk. And so that first day, when we got together and we talking and all of this stuff, Jarrell laid out the whole dream of like our future as far as business wise, and kind of laid that out, and the things that he wanted and the things that I wanted, but they actually came together because I already had my company, he had his company, but it all worked together because, like I said, I was the sound and he's the visual. They complement each other so well. So in real life, fast forward, I'm in the shower and God was like, no, you're a helpmate. The wife's role is a helpmate. So what can you do? You can help him. Like, he's already laid the vision, and he has this huge vision in February that he shared with you. I've given to him because the idea kind of came out of nowhere. So he got this idea, this huge thing, and he's like saying it's kind of insurmountable. Like, I can't do this by myself because it's so big. I can't do this by myself. And here I am thinking like, all right, so what am I going to do? No, girl, help. So that was the revelation. And instantly after I got that revelation, it was like, yeah, I can help. How can I help? Oh, let's count the ways. You can you can do the music for the podcast. You can do the music for the movie. You can act in the movie. You can assist him in writing. Like, you can be a support to him. You can allow him to vent to you. Something as simple as that. But be intentional about your role, and don't be walking around here feeling like, well, it's me. No, you have a role. And the thing is, it's not even just that I'm dropping what I want, dropping my goals or whatever to throw myself fully into whatever he got going on. No, because God is so good. They complement, and I've worked your heart's desire into this dream too. So yeah, you want to produce, you want to do music, you want to work with these people, and a dream of mine, I want to act. I want to curate events, all of this stuff. And it's going to come in this package like this is it. So once my eyes were kind of open to that, it's just like, oh yeah. And it's just like, duh, like, okay, yeah. But then also with that is just trusting. Well, I think that was another revelation before this last one. But another revelation is just trusting and believing that I didn't bring you back to this for a second time for you to fail. So it might be work, but don't think that it's going to fail. Yeah. Just because all the other relationships, obviously, all the other relationships didn't lead to marriage. Even our last one, it didn't lead to marriage like you want in your head, you hopeful romantic. It didn't lead to marriage. However, this can be a different outcome. So that was also another revelation that I had to really change my mindset, like, because I can't be fearful and holding back and all of this stuff thinking, well, I'm only going to let him in this much because he's not going to make me a wife. Nah, just be yourself and trust God to do the rest. And that's kind of what happened. Mm-hmm. So I trusted that I'm in this situation for a reason, and I'm going to put my absolute all into it. And then when I started to kind of get away from that mindset, hey, he sent me another reminder just recently. You are supposed to be in this position. Your helpmate. Do your job and help. Thank you so much. And yeah, so and I think like those are two key things.
That revelation when you spoke that, it was two kind of key things. When you told me that kind of pumped me up in a different type of way, just because you don't see that's a rare air for current contemporary times. Mm-hmm. Like, for a woman to go, I see your vision, and I'm not talking about like, I'm sure it happens all the time, but I mean like the public discourse about like relationships. It's never viewed as the woman's like, I see your vision, I trust your vision, and like I'm actually going to, because like, man, it's crazy. Like, God works in such mysterious ways because I've always worked you in. Always. Since the beginning. Like, before, like, when marriage wasn't even like a forefront thought. Like, I was always
even with ACN
looking,
in the very beginning.
Very beginning. We ain't even talk about ACN, man. That's gonna be a whole nother episode. Like, we're gonna have to get into that in next season. But like, yeah, from ACN from the jump, like ACN was like a multi-level marketing, network marketing type of jump. And, this is when I know I had a desire for entrepreneurship. I know I had a desire to be my own boss. I know I had a desire to change the wealth of my family. Like, I had a desire for all these things, and coming to these type of opportunities, for lack of better words, they prey on these type of people. The good thing about me is I'm a take the meat and leave the bones type of individual. So regardless of what situation I'm in, I'm going to take away something. And I took away a lot from this opportunity. But while I was in it, when I first started, like, we literally would just kind of started talking for real. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to do this little situation. Of course, brought her to one of those meetings in one of the little banquet rooms of a hotel. Dressed, business dressed, and listening to these presentations. We got a fun picture. Oh man! And she signed up. Like, she signed up with me. We was just kind of getting in. I was like, yo, this is already showing me something different. Like, she trusts my judgment enough to go in blind, almost blind with me on this venture. Like, where you get a junk that's willing to do that? Like, when do you get a woman that's willing to do that off the break? Like, that's a different type, you know what I mean? Not recognizing the magnitude of that until coming currently, and then you giving me that that revelation, because I don't even feel like you realize you were walking in that prior to. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had to be a little bit more, I guess, leading to you to do that. Like, lead you to it. And it's like, even like we're working at where you work at now, like the contract that you got, like, I was like, yo, you should probably check this out. Like, this kind of this is right up your alley, whatever. And you're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna do this and get it. And it's because, it shows some level. It also feeds, like you said, your own personal pillars, and it helps you build those as well. But not realizing that you're still building a collective empire even before you even got in the mindset to go, I have to accept the idea that that's my job. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, that was a big thing. That was a really big revelation. Like you said, that came relatively recently. Mm-hmm. The other revelation that I feel like was super big for me with us was another thing that you said, and this was a little bit early on, when we got to a place where we was truly understanding like what this was. Mm-hmm. So, message to everybody that's out there that's in relationships, and I kind of spoke on this in another episode, but purpose partners, man. People in your life that are purposeful. Like, realizing that your relationship, if you want a marriage, we're not married yet by any means. We're dating right now. Mm-hmm. But, with strong intentions, right? And in those strong intentions, we collectively study the institution of marriage from a God perspective, and we understand, like, it ain't just about us. It ain't about like, oh, I want a wife so I can da-da-da-da, or even I want to be a husband so I can da-da-da. Like, it's so much bigger than us. You are supposed to, in these kingdom marriages that we're seeking, it doesn't have nothing to do with just us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We get happy, we grow and learn as a byproduct. But for it to be a kingdom marriage, it is building the kingdom of God. Like, we are out here doing purpose work. So getting to that level of understanding for both of us, for me personally, because I thought of marriage of having a certain image, right? And you had said something real particular to me that kind of did not waver, and it did not disappear. You said, I want you as my husband, and I chose you as my partner, not for the potential I see in you, because not to say that I don't have potential. Mm-hmm. I see the potential, but I'm not choosing you for potential. I'm choosing for who you are and who you show yourself to be currently. Mm-hmm. Not to say you're perfect, not to say we are in a perfect space or none of that, but who you are presenting yourself to be in collaboration with who I am as partners on a purpose mission, I've chose you already. It's not the circumstances that's going to make you a good husband for me. You are a good husband for me for what it is that's already inside you. And that, like...
For what's already inside of me, you're compatible with my purpose.
That took me out. That took me out. Because I'm just like, yo, I've struggled my entire life with being someone who based his worth, like I talked about, you know, congratulating yourself and all that, basing his worth off of productivity, basing his worth off of how I'm, like, what I'm giving or what I have to offer, and not just for who I am. And what that said to me was, you are enough. In its own way, you are enough. And that joint, like, that took me out. And it motivated me to go, now I want to be better because I see that she already is happy with who I am. So why not try to become a better person to, you know, make her even more happy? Like, and then you double that, then you couple that on top of that with the helpmate. And it's like, so not only that, but you see my dreams and you see my visions and you see how I've actively included you in all of them. And how I want you to always be a part of them. Like, that's like two powerful spaces to come from. Like, that is really revolutionary for me in relationships, period. Like, in my viewpoint of relationships, all that, in the experiences that I've had, myself in third party, like, secondhand, seeing other people's relationships, like, that is a different level that you don't see, that you don't hear about. You know, you see some of the big couples that talk about, like, you know, purpose partners and we working together, and, you know, you see like the Tamala and David Manns, you see the Eric and Warren Campbells, like, you see Beyonce and Jay-Z, like, you see these power couples and not realizing what goes into having a partner in purpose. We say all the time, Beyonce would not be the same Beyonce if it wasn't for Jay-Z. But Jay-Z would not be the same Jay-Z if it wasn't for Beyonce.
Correct.
Warren wouldn't be the same Warren if it wasn't for Erica, and vice versa. Like, all of these couples, you see how their individual journeys are directly correlated with one another, and they grow together and they achieve together. They build the kingdom together. That is probably the biggest factor that has put us in a position I feel like we are today, man. Like, 100%.
We also realized early on that if we are not cool,
everything else ain't working. Everything else ain't
like,
working. That's absolutely true.
Whatever contracts you got, it kind of gets a little foggy, a little fuzzy. It's hard to do if we ain't cool. So we got to make sure we stay cool and keep the attention on that as well. Absolutely. Don't let that light burn out.
Absolutely. So, man, it's been a great year. It's been an amazing year. It's been an amazing year. Like I said, it's not been perfect, but it's been great, and it's been progressive, constantly in a state of growth, and like all of that stuff, man. We've really understood the assignment, like 100%. I feel like that's big.
Yeah.
Like, getting the vision. Like, that's getting the vision, man. So we can go into this God message, man. The God message is of this the precursor, the ending God message is pretty obvious. Like, Proverbs 18:22, where it says, "The man who finds a wife finds a treasure, and he receives favor from the Lord." Now, once again, public media will have you to believe that in this current day society, marriage is not an ideal institution to become a part of. And that's because most people don't view marriage in the way that they should, that we are trying to view marriage. I feel like, you know, it's a valuable course because that journey, as they say, is the only relationship on God's green earth that forces you to become a better person. Torre, going back to quote this sermon, Torre said, like, you don't even know what you can do and can be and who God see you as, like, until you become that person. So you don't know what the gifts, what the rewards, what the blessings that come with you being that new person even look like. So for you to say, like, when they say a wife is a treasure, is because she comes in and she changes who you are to become who you're supposed to be, so that both of y'all reap the benefits, right? And not to say she's doing that from a vain place, but that's just the byproduct. And you'll receive favor. Like, that's a covenant that is super blessed. It's different. God looks at married people, especially kingdom marriages, different. Now, not to say that they don't go through stuff.
Yeah.
Not to say that they don't experience hard times. Not to say that they don't get that tension that they have to grow through. But it's like the overall journey is like the best thing for you. It's like the best thing for you. Especially if you approach it in the right way. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm glad that I didn't just succumb to what the world's understanding of marriage was and just do it because this is what I'm supposed to do. But I took the time and took the growth to really understand what that step is before even like considering like or envisioning it in a real way. Needless to say, like, man, getting that revelation and it coming through you and in every aspect being able to be affirmed and reaffirmed, like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, and I know I'm like rambling a little bit, but he talked about like, what if love wasn't the biggest part of why you got married? Let that sink in for some people. Like, y'all may have, you know, some understandings or whatever that may be a little bit jaded, you know, by experience, whatever, you know, or by the romanticizing of what that means.
Yeah, just
like,
romanticizing.
But what if just you being in this super infatuation and this frilly rose-petaled love that they try to depict in the movies and all that? What if that wasn't the main point of you getting married? What if the main point of you getting married was to become somebody that you could not have become without that? What if that was the real case? I feel like, and I tell you this all the time, and I feel like that's another affirmation that you are who God has for me, because I say that a lot without realizing that that's what I'm saying. It's like, of course, I love you to death. Like, you're my favorite person. Like, 100%. Like, that's not even to, you're my favorite person, hands down. But oftentimes, the moments that I realize the most aren't in like super lovey-dovey moments. It's in like moments that I'm just looking, I'm just like, yo, like, you really like my road dog. Like, you really like my partner in crime. Like, we moving partner in purpose.
I was about to say, we ain't doing no crime.
Partner in purpose. Like, you really are that person. Like, you really show yourself to be that person consistently. Even when we beefing and all of that stuff, you consistently show that you gonna ride, like, to the like, regardless, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I think back when we in Jamaica, and like, mind you, bro, like, I call her God's bunny rabbit, right? I say that because she is so faith-filled that it's like, she doesn't even believe like stuff can touch her. She doesn't believe that she can be wounded or harmed or anything like that.
Look, I'm covered by the blood,
because the blood is protecting her. So, but as that protector, being that protector of you, like, I'd be super like super anal. right? So we was in Jamaica and we was about to go on the 4-wheelers, right? So they had the two types. They had the 4-wheeler joint, then they had the little like cart, the little buggy jump that you can sit in. So I'm thinking like I'm gonna get the buggy because I know she not trying to drive. Like she not trying to drive the 4-wheeler or whatever. We get out there and we were like 3 groups and the buggies got taken up. I'm in my head, I don't show it because I pretty much keep it stone faced, but in my head I'm like, yo, she's gonna have to drive this 4-wheeler. Like she had to drive it. And I'm like, she either gonna drive it or we just about to
sit out on this activity.
I'm like, cause she ride on the back of my, like, I'm thinking of like how to alleviate this problem because I know that she was really like a little bit nervous about doing that.
I didn't want to do it by myself. I wanted to do the buggy because I had my own apprehensions about me driving a 4-wheeler by myself.
And when I tell you, like, you know, she was a soldier. Like, she was like, I mean, all right, let's do it. And I'm like, for real? Like, you sure? Like, you sure? She's like, yeah, I'm good. So I'm like, all right, make sure, you know, I'm taking all precautions. Like, make sure you're in front of me so I can see. And she was ripped. Like, I'm talking about handling that joint. I'm just like, yo.
I was sore. Like, right as soon as I got off, I was sore. But yeah, it was
That's
fun.
what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. You know, and just, you know, I can just think of numerous opportunities and numerous times where I just like, it's just like a look that and sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. I just be like, man, like that's the homie right there. Like that, and it's bigger than just the, you know, the cool little infatuated love, blase blah. It's cooler than that. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than everything. Like it's purpose. Like it's purpose. Like we're together for a reason, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful. Like I'm super thankful that we were able to grow together and become and continue to become. You know what I mean? 2 times, because we have become and we're continuing to become. And I'm just anticipating with utter excitement what favor God is going to show us as we continue to do his work with this. Like, so like I said, I feel like this was a super dope scripture to kind of summate the assignment. Like the assignment is to have a kingdom marriage. And like you can't really do that without a wife. And they say the wife is a treasure, so you gotta go get a wife. So Jasmine Nicole Clements.
I saw it, but I didn't see it coming. Oh, guys!
Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife and helpmate and life partner?
Yes. Yeah. Guys! Oh! Look at that. Yeah. Oh, you did a good job.
I did that? Did I do a good job?
Yeah.
So she a fiance.
I'm a fiance.
She a fiance, y'all.
See, but you know, oh man. Yay. Thanks, I love you.
I love you
about
too.
to be tight. I'm about to do life with you. Oh, yay, guys. You gonna end it?
So, friends, so we're going to go ahead and pray up out of here, man. Like I said, this is the end of the Precursor. Dear Lord, man, thank you just for everything. Thank you for this journey that we've been on thus far. Thank you for the lives that we can touch with this piece of content. Thank you for showing me and leading me to my life partner, my helpmate, my wife. You know, we are going to try our utmost to stay in your will and to do as you have us planned to do and walk in the purpose that you've given to us. Yeah, and we're going to continue to honor you and praise you at every step. We want to worship you with the love that we want to share with each other. And we want to emulate you in the love that we want to share with each other. Lord, forgive us and guide us when we are falling short, when we are getting in those cloudy spaces. Continue to be with us as we walk through those deep waters, as we walk through those rushing rivers, as we walk through that furnace. Be our protector, be our comforter, and just continue to be everything that you have always been to us. We have no doubt in our minds that you have such great blessings in store for this union, and we know that rain is coming. That rain is coming. We have gone through those dry spells. We've gone through those seasons of just sowing and not seeing no fruit of that sow. Not being able to reap the harvest, but we understand that in due season. We understand that each and every day is a new opportunity to have faith that you are going to send out rain. So we sit in excited anticipation to watch that rain fall, to watch you open those floodgates, and for us to reap the harvest and all the blessings. And as we said before, we're going to keep our hands open and be nothing but an estuary, nothing but a vehicle, nothing but a vessel for those blessings to come out of heaven through us, and then touching the lives of everybody that has the opportunity to watch and to be witness to this love grow and blossom. We love you, we praise you, we honor you, we thank you. We thank you. Thank you to everyone that's listening.
So faithful.
Just thank you for being a good father.
Thank you.
Thank you for my wife. Thank you for her saying yes. Thank you for this plan. Thank you for this plan going over. It was so difficult. I can't keep secrets from her. I especially when I know it's gonna make her happy and make her smile and get the reaction that she's giving. So thank you for me being able to hold out and get us to this point. The devil was heavy at work, but we are overcomers because of you, Lord, and we're going to continue to be overcomers and represent that to the fullest. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Young, that was the longest prayer. Oh, guys. See, but I knew something.
Oh, and happy anniversary, man.
Oh, yeah. Happy anniversary. I have a card for you, too.
Oh, man.
Happy anniversary.
Okay, we'll just see after. All right, friends. Thank y'all for joining us for this journey of the Chronicles of J123, the Precursor. Make sure y'all tune in when we hit season 1. Because we ain't even in the... This is only the beginning. Y'all get to watch this whole thing develop. Y'all got the backstory. Now y'all right here with us. Y'all see the engagement happen live on the podcast. And you know why I made this idea, right?
Why?
Because you gave me... Because, of course, the women like to give their demands when they get, for this moment. And I didn't want to disappoint. But she only had 2. She said, make sure my nails are done. And I want it to be documented so that I can watch it over and over again. Other people can see it, whatever. So I said, how do we do this? And I have been orchestrating this plan from the beginning. So when we put that together, the whole For the Love of the People
for real?
Talking about the Chronicles is going to be, listen, the Chronicles has been in the making since the first relationship. That's literally what we called our mock podcast in the beginning. Right? I said that we need to do one to kind of outline.
Oh, you see, I got a ring on his finger now.
Got to outline. You know what I'm saying? Wrote it down, made it plain. He said write it down and make it plain. We wrote it down multiple times. Planned out. Said I got to get through it. Then I said, Lord, where is this money for the ring coming from? He said, do what you can, brother. Do what you can. It's the intentions behind it. It's not the dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? Because we can make money and I can just upgrade it as we go along. Add more bands, whatever we got to do. But just show the intention. Show the intentionality. You know what I'm saying? So.
But you didn't do bad. This is cute. Oh.
And it fits.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying? And it fits.
It ain't going nowhere.
So, thank y'all for joining us. Blessings and favor.